Melty and magnificent, creamy and dreamy, whether it's mozzarella, manchego, American, or Swiss, when you take a snapshot of America's favorite foods, you gotta say cheese. Last year, the average American ate a whopping 40 pounds of cheese. That's like taking 2 of the tires on your car, turning them into cheese, and then eating the tires. Last year, over 95% of American households bought cheese, which makes the cheese business bring in a whole lot of cheddar. Annual sales last year topped $34 billion. Annual production is around 13 billion pounds. That's almost equivalent to the weight of 1 million African elephants. Cheesemakers around the country are working super hard to keep up with the demand, and I want to know how they do it. This is Modern Marvels, the United States of Cheese. Today, I'm at Caputo Brothers Creamery, an artisan cheesemaker who has been praised by Food & Wine magazine and some of the most prestigious restaurants in New York for their Italian-style mozzarella and ricotta. Caputo Brothers gets milk from local farms and turns it, or maybe I should say churns it, into 6,700 pounds of cheese every week. That's 350,000 pounds of cheese per year. And though they deliver all this cheese to each of the 50 states, they still stay true to their traditional Italian techniques. And most of that is done by hand. So I figure that this is the perfect place for some real deal, step-by-step, hands-on instruction in how cheese is made. I'm excited to get started. I'm getting hungry. Elizabeth, the head cheesemaker for Caputo Brothers, is going to show us how to make their traditional Italian fresh mozzarella. At Caputo's, they start with pasteurizing the milk, a process of basically heating it to a temperature for a sustained amount of time to kill off any pathogens and bad bacteria.
So we're up to temperature, and it's ready to send out.
Now that we have pasteurized the milk, the real process of cheese making begins. We're looking at a giant vat of pasteurized milk, meaning most of the bacteria, good and bad, has been removed. And since most cheese making requires microbial magic, we need to add some bacteria cultures back in.
So the next step is adding culture.
Okay.
We use a lactobacillus culture.
Wait, just that little bit for all this milk?
It does not take very much to do what we need to do with it.
So it's bacteria in powdered form?
It is in a freeze-dried form. We're just going to sprinkle the top of the milk with it.
Okay, let's do it. And like over there, is this good?
Yeah, and you'll want to cover the whole vat.
I feel like Johnny Culture Seed over here. Oh, you smell it. It's almost like bread. Like it has like a yeast kind of note.
Yeah, it does have a good smell to it.
Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, like that sort of thing, like country hearth bread. That smell is the bacteria cultures breaking down the lactose sugar in the milk and starting to ferment. Most American mozzarella cheesemakers cheat by adding an acid like vinegar or citric acid here, but at Caputo Brothers, they insist on making mozzarella the traditional Italian way, using bacteria cultures. What do we do next with all this wonderful pasteurized milk?
Next step is adding rennet. Rennet is an enzyme found initially in the animal's stomach.
Okay.
So the rennet is what's going to set the milk. So it takes it from this liquid and kind of makes it like tofu.
We're going to give the bacteria, cultures, and rennet some time to separate the curds from the whey.
So it's been about an hour since we added the rennet.
Right, and you can see there's like this matte finish on top.
Yep, so that's kind of the cream line coming to the top, but we're gonna see if it's ready or not. And the way you do that is you stick your finger in here, and you're just gonna...
Oh, wow.
Looks more like pudding now.
It's got a skin on it.
And if you can see that it nicely, smoothly cuts. See how that broke?
Yeah, like
very nicely?
Like flan.
That means that it's ready.
So now that we've established that we're at the right consistency, we've done our little poke test, what do we do next?
We're about to cut it.
Let's cut it.
This is called a spino. This is what they use in Italy. We dive this in and bring it back to the surface.
That's actually quite beautiful. Oh. So these are the curds.
These are the curds. Mozzarella is a higher moisture cheese, so we're gonna cut these to be a bit larger. Do you want to try cutting?
Absolutely, just to be able to use the Gandalf staff over here.
So you'll go down, and when you bring it up, turn it about 90 degrees.
This, to me, is like the cheese equivalent of the way they would rake like a Zen garden, except this is way more tasty. So how is my spino technique?
You are doing a great job.
I really do mean this in earnest. This is so relaxing. Oh no, mi spini, mi spini. Dude, forget Pagliacci. This is the worst tragedy in Italy right here. All right, we've drained away, and what was left behind were the curds. Now, it's time to turn those curds into cheese. It's time for the mozzarella magic to start to take shape.
All right, so hand me a block, and you can take one.
Okay, ooh, it feels cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so what do I do?
So you're just gonna try to break it up into smaller chunks.
Okay.
Maybe somewhere around the size of a quarter.
That too small?
Nope, that's perfect. Doing what we're doing now, stretching by hand, this is what makes it artisan. So the next step is we're gonna add a little bit of salt. So this, we kind of just do by hand.
Okay.
So I usually find 2 medium-sized fistfuls is about enough.
We start by tempering the curds with a shot of 190-degree water. Then we stir the curds using plastic wands that Elizabeth and her team lovingly call their magic sticks.
And now we're going to stretch it. Pick it up by the middle on your magic stick, and you'll be able to stretch it.
Tell me Caputo Brothers is not making magic. This is why it's called the magic stick. Stretching cheese, or as the Italians call it, pasta filata, aligns the proteins in the cheese and gives the mozzarella that gooey stretchiness that you want when you're pulling a slice of pizza from the pie. It's what makes string cheese stringy and gives mozzarella that gorgeous mouthfeel that it has. If this were like fried right here, and I just fill one of these with marinara. Seriously, this is gorgeous. Oh, wow.
Well, once it's stretched, grab a clump.
Okay.
And you're trying to work that outer layer of cheese very thin. So you're kind of smoothing it, and all the while, you'll collect it with your other hand. There you go. Now you're gonna try to cut off the circulation with that finger as you grab it. And you're just gonna pinch, 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 pinch until you can feel it break.
Uh-huh. I'm gonna put this in here?
Yep. This is my favorite time to eat this cheese.
Really?
Warm, freshly stretched.
Yeah, it's just so gorgeous. Is it okay if I try a little?
Absolutely.
How could I not want to try this? It's warm and it's silky when you touch it. Whew. So good. This has to be like in the Caputo benefits package, like vision, dental, and the ability to eat top quality mozzarella, warm and stringy out of the stretching process. The milk is the first note you get. All I can say is I love my job. Over 7,000 years ago, the very first cheeses were made. Since then, over 1,800 different varieties of cheese have been created. They're enjoyed all over the world and all throughout the day. And the next time you sink your teeth into this incredible edible, hopefully you'll be able to understand, appreciate, and taste the thousands of years of experiments, craftsmanship, scientific ingenuity, and sheer artistry that go into making this magnificent, mouth-watering, melty modern marvel. So whether you slice, dice, or grate, there is no debate that from the cities to the seas, America loves its cheese.